Calling all units, calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
There we go. I was having trouble with audio. Um, StreamYard's giving me a freaking thing where it was like it wasn't letting me scroll down to turn the music off and get rid of the overlay. I was like, shit, they're stuck listening to this silly dance music. I'm gonna eventually upload something that's whatever, not gonna demonetize or screw up the feed or whatever YouTube does. So what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Donuts. I don't have any donuts again today. Really got to watch what I eat, and so donuts might not always be a good thing to eat, but got coffee. So cheers if you don't have any coffee, but if you do, Blackout Coffee Company, DSP 10 will get you a discount for your coffee. So Juliet says that it is 59 degrees in West Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it says 64 on my computer. But it is nice and chilly, which is good for us. We don't have a blizzard like they have in the Northeast, screwing up all those flights. And Tyler was here, was here. May have was here for the moment to type that and then left. Who knows? But we'll get to Tyler in a little bit and talk about that. Yeah. So this week, Christmas week was this past week, and I hope everybody had a good holiday, whatever holidays you're celebrating. If you're celebrating anything at all, we had Christmas here at my house. It was cool, just pretty chill. But before that, Monday, I drove up to the Anti-Hero broadcast, the Anti-Hero Studios in Orlando, and joined them for the show because the co-host Mike was out of town on a cruise. So this week I was up there for the Monday episode. It was a great time. It's fun. It's different. It's this kind of format. It's this live stuff. Talking about, some kind of current events and stuff, giving opinions, talking shit and just having fun. Good to hang out with Tyler and Jimmy on the show. And then I got to meet Lewis, their, I guess, producer, camera angle switcher, somewhat tech guy, and punching bag got to meet him, which was fun. So we did that show, and then talked about a whole bunch of different things, and then I got to record 2 episodes for myself. So I did some Donut Shop podcast episodes that are going to come up in the next few weeks. So this week I'm going to drop Jimmy. Jimmy's a new member to their kind of to the counterculture neighborhood, the scene here. He's a good dude. He has, he was in the Army for 10 years and went to Iraq, which is part of an ongoing inside joke within the show, that the chat group, we try to take a shot or joke around about drinking whenever he mentions that he was in Iraq, because it's kind of a thing that he always bounces back to and mentions it. But worthwhile because he got a lot of experience in Iraq and he saw some shit. And so we kind of went into that a bit in the episode with me. And then I'm getting a phone call live during the show. So my buddy Joe's calling me and it's like, yo, dude, I'm doing my podcast, man. I'm doing my show. So, Jimmy and I had some good conversations about that. And then, just kind of talking about some of the stuff that he's wanted to do, some of his goals and everything. And then he has a new podcast called Shadowcast that's on the Counterculture Network. And he, does these deep dives, research for the Anti-Hero broadcast. And he doesn't necessarily get to go deep into that and explain everything, all the research that he found. So it gives him an opportunity on his new podcast, Shadowcast, to drop the information that he did his homework on. He gets to do pretty much the full report, which is good for him. And then anybody that's interested in more content about that specific subject, he's got it for you. So check it out over there. That episode from me will drop on Tuesday morning, and with subsequent reels to follow. That was good. And then Tyler and I got into it too. Did another episode. That one I'm juggling on when I'm gonna drop it, if I'm gonna drop it the next week, or I also have an episode with a friend, Anthony. It's going to talk about his fitness app and stuff like that. So where Tyler's going to drop, who really knows? But we'll get those. I'll get those out, and looking forward to it. And it was a good thing. It was a good time. So yeah, there's Joe. Sorry for calling during recording. Yeah, you better be. He's trying to do some eBay sales and stuff, and needs consultation, which I don't consult on because that could get me in trouble in my Star Wars group. So going forward throughout the week, I messed around and I made like a super nerd version of I kind of remodeled my desk and added another monitor. So now I have a whole nother monitor that I'm going to be looking at, in addition to this huge widescreen monitor that I already have. So what do you guys, anybody have coffee? What are you guys drinking today? Got that. The wife went to work because we're going out of town this week. But before that, we did not like it's a tradition, but it's a thing. The 3 days, Joe. What is the 3 days? 3 days is how many days I have left. How many days left as a police officer? Was 3 days. Yep. In the event someone's under a rock. Yes, someone's under a rock. Yeah. I retire in 3 days. Fully retired. Like you may on social media have seen a video of my last out of service video, like when I was in uniform. So for me, that's kind of like a benchmark. When you are no longer in uniform as a police officer, a lot of coworkers and even like people on calls and stuff like that. Cause I found myself mentioning it to a lot of people, just kind of creating conversation that, hey, yeah, I'm retiring, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And they'd be like, what are you still doing out in the road? What are you doing on the road? And then like coworkers would always yell at me, like, why are you here? Why are you in uniform? And it was the job's fun to me. I still enjoy it. I'm not leaving the job broken and hurt and injured and pushed out and all that kind of stuff. Or fired. So I'm not leaving like that. So I'm leaving, still with a passion for the job, but it's just on to bigger and better things, cashing out, stepping away from the table, that kind of stuff. So, I've been on these shows when I do the live streams. There's a dry erase board in our room or in this room. And I was like, I need to put that to use. So I might as well write a countdown, which would be kind of fun. And so I've had to remember as I jump on some of these live streams to change the date and working on my artistic ability with drawing numbers and remembering what they look like. So that's that. Joe and his wife are listening, and Nicole's probably like, what the fuck is Justin doing on the internet, just talking about nothing? But that's what it is. That's what it is. Tyler says during the podcast, it's fun on a Sunday to come in and get some positivity early in the morning after a week of drama and turmoil on podcasts and stuff like that, because drama and turmoil is what sells, not positivity. But it is what it is. I'm having fun. Oh yeah, but so Christmas, it's not that it's a tradition with us. For a long time, my family, we would go to Disney for Christmas, and we'd be in like Fort Wilderness. And the awesome thing about Fort Wilderness and being in Disney is that nothing's closed. Everything's open. That's when they make their money. So sad for the employees, my brother being one of them. But, it's nice because the restaurants are all open. Granted, sometimes you got to have a reservation. But all the stores, the activities, everything's open because it's made for you being on vacation, celebrating whatever you're celebrating. It doesn't really matter. So when you're in the real world, that part becomes frustrating because like Publix is closed, the grocery stores, a lot of restaurants are closed and you can't get to them. So a normal movie or pop culture trend or thing, whatever it would be, is that Chinese food is what you go eat on Christmas. Like, so, the New York City movies for Christmas, if somebody's alone on Christmas or, doesn't have, a meal prepared or family to eat with or something like that, they go to a Chinese food restaurant because in China, they don't necessarily celebrate Christmas. It's probably not part of the religion and stuff. And so people go to Chinese foods, or it's open and it's good. Comfort food. So I told my family, like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get Chinese food. And so I made the mistake of, it's not a mistake, whatever. It was great. But I went to go to Uber Eats to order it nice and early, and it wasn't connected. So they probably turned off Uber Eats because it was blowing up. So I went on their website, the place's website, and it was good to go. So I ordered, and we went to, so I was like, oh, I'll just run over there and pick it up. And I went over there, got there 15 minutes early or 15 minutes late, thinking like, all right, my food will be ready. It's all right. I gave them an extra 15 minutes, and it was an empty parking lot in a plaza. And there was probably 15 to 20 cars just sitting in the plaza parking lot for that one Chinese restaurant. I was like, oh shit. And you go in, and it looked like a full walk-in clinic, doctor's office kind of thing. And it was just filled with people. And I was like, freaking sucks. So, I had to wait. And the girl was like, oh yeah, your food's not ready, but I'll call your phone number. So I was like, all right, I'll go sit in the parking lot. And Tyler was doing no one has Christmas alone, which is basically what I was doing, sitting in a car by myself. But he was doing a live stream on Anti-Hero, for officers and firemen, whoever that are out in the road, especially officers that might be sitting in their car on patrol and, they're not home with their family. We're bringing your family here to you via, like a live stream. So we were doing that, or they were doing that. And I joined in on that, and that was fun. That's a cool new tradition to rock it. So what did Joe say? Joe said they needed a horseradish on Christmas Day. Yeah, good luck. Had to you had to call around. Yeah, you had to go through the village. Does anybody have horseradish? And like that's a very particular thing that you need that has to go with something most likely or complement a dish. And if you don't have it, the dish goes to shit probably. So you know, egg drop soup was my Jewish Christmas. I got my mom some egg drop soup, which there's still some in the fridge because I got her like whatever the big ass quart. Um, so yeah, Chinese food for sure. So I eventually got my food, brought it home, chowed down, joined that live stream while eating my Chinese food. So that you know, it was good. It was a good time. Christmas was nice. My wife worked on Christmas Day just to make that extra cheddar, and then you know, and then we worked through it, and you know, it was good. It's another day. Oh yeah, Joe had prime rib, which seemed like a lot of people were making prime rib by watching social media. I saw a lot of prime rib uh, attempts or cooks. I don't know if that's a thing on Christmas. Is prime rib a thing on Christmas? But yeah, prime rib with no horse radish is yeah, it's probably not that good. What are you gonna put ketchup on it? I don't know. My wife would put ketchup on it. So yeah, so moved through that, and Christmas was good. I apparently got the wrong color of shoes for my wife, so we went shopping yesterday to exchange those shoes. I didn't get the wrong ones. She had gotten ones that were very similar in the one of two colors. So she had gotten like a neutral color, light color shoe, and so I bought the other color because I figured she already had that color. Turns out she returned that neutral color shoe and didn't necessarily need the black version that I had bought her. So we went yesterday to buy a neutral color version of the shoe that I bought her for Christmas. So whatever. I mean, I still did a great job. Did an excellent job. And we got it. And she's enjoying it. And then over there above my shoulder is what I got. That thing right there is a whiskey decanter, crystal, very nice, fine crystal whiskey decanter. So close to my bedroom, so I can drink whiskey whenever I want. But yeah, you know, so it'll be good. Excuse me. Let's see. What else do we have? What else is going on? Yeah, so the retirement thing is coming up tomorrow. I have a tomorrow is Monday. Yeah, tomorrow I have a thing in the chief suite where they're going to give me a plaque thing. Maybe we'll have cake. Who knows? So we'll have a thing up there in the chief suite, small little celebration for the couple guys that are retiring at the end of the month. And then, you know, that'll be kind of it. You know, a couple more days to return some more gear and trade in my car. The next person that wants my police car is begging me to know when I'm going to turn it in so they can have it. They'd really like me to turn it in and get it turned in. So, but the guy that collects them or takes them back was out of town last week, so I couldn't give it to him. But yeah, so New Year's we're gonna have a little soiree at my house. No one else is invited. Sorry. And then Lupe and I are headed up to Georgia. We're headed up to Georgia for I don't know, the weekend. She had the days off, and then I will have the days off in perpetuity forever, because I'll be retired. And so we're gonna go up to Georgia because I've been wanting to go to the Georgia Aquarium to check out. They have whale shark in a fishbowl or something in the aquarium. So I'm excited to go see their aquarium that's up there. Maybe they have jellyfish. If you know, you know. And then we're going to do some hiking at Stone Mountain. It's just like I guess like a quick 1 mile up the mountain, but check that out. And Mom sprung for with frequent flyer miles, sprung for first class tickets for us to fly 2 hours to Georgia. Thanks for that. So it would be exciting to get up there and do that, and hit Georgia. do some driving around or whatever. Retirement is the second honeymoon. Yeah. Okay. We go on all kinds of honeymoons. So, um, but yeah, retirement will be interesting. I was kind of looking through, trying to determine like how I'm going to do it, like what I'm going to do, because my goal is obviously to hit the gym 3 to 4 times a week, and then I got to do this podcast game stuff. So hopefully Tyler will let me slide in via video occasionally on Antihero, maybe as a off-site consultant from time to time, Justin coming in with some news or some thoughts about a topic and then kick me off and I can go about my business. But it's it's good. I got to remember to keep changing my little tickers at the bottom. What did I skip over? I skipped over open mic, talking about open mic. It was our Friday live stream. Open mic was a good time. Our buddy Nick had to bail out, allegedly because of those storms that were in the Northeast. He's in Philly, and he says he got called out. We don't really know what he does. Maybe a street sweeper, maybe a chimney sweep. Don't really know. But he does something out for the public, and he was unable to do a live stream. So it was just Tyler and I doing the live stream, and we had some interesting conversations going over a little bit of drama within the network, a little bit of conversation. I don't remember everything, but I know it was a good show. So go over and check it out. Counterculture Inc.'s YouTube channel under the Lives tab, and you'll see open mic there. So it's a fun show for us to kind of do behind the scenes of what goes on within this podcasting realm that we're trying to do. We're trying to grow sort of a fan base or some stuff that's people find interesting, bring them some interesting conversation that you can't necessarily get from the news, or that you don't really feel with them talking. So what's up, everybody? What's going on? Oh, I see I'm sorry. 2 more. It was super positive. Yeah. Oh, the open mic was super positive. Yeah. It was super positive. I mean, we weren't talking that bad. We weren't really like talking shit, but there was a bit of beating around the bush, because some conversations haven't been had yet, and some conversations need to be had off air. Contract negotiations, as we put it. Nicole says, "Good morning, Justin in the chat." Yep, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Got to hit the gym, and then got to finish up some polishing of the episodes for the next couple weeks, and get shit scheduled, man, and get moving into this retirement stuff. It hits a little different trying to, think about retirement and not doing the job anymore. Like, cause right now, like I feel like I'm in it, and right now, I'm still getting, whatchamacallit, like they call them alpha pages. So if something big happens in the city, a message comes out via text or email, and I get them through my text messages about something that happened. So like yesterday, I'm going to do a little media release. Yesterday there was like a fight between some young jits, some juveniles in the mall area. And, so it kind of came out 911 calls where they didn't know if there was, any shots or anything like that. And, it was later determined that there was not any shots, that it was a fight, and stuff gets knocked over. And this has happened before in the mall. I don't know what mall it is, some mall in some city, that because you have the tile floor, and like if you knock over a sign that's like an advertisement for a store or something like that, fights have a tendency to do that. And you knock over a sign and it kind of slams and hits the floor, and then it echoes, in addition to yelling and screaming, that crash and then the echo. People people freak out. They're scared. Nowadays they don't know what's going on. I mean, plus this is Florida, so everybody's carrying. So you don't really know what's going on, and so they call it in 911. Apparently the mall was evacuated and cleared. Determined that there was no gunfire or injuries or anything like that. And everybody could go back to their merrymaking of returning gifts and all that kind of stuff. You should have been doing it at 11 o'clock when the mall's open, because that's what we were doing. Joe says, Justin and Joe podcast 2026. Oh, yeah. Aside from Justin and Joe podcasts, perhaps we'll get Joe on a live stream or something. Let me wet the whistle a little bit. Lupe, my wife, we will most likely next week be doing this show together. We'll still be on that trip in Georgia. I'm not doing the open mic Friday just because we'll be doing aquarium stuff, and that would just be rude. I need to be present. But because we'll be, waking up, packing to leave, or, finishing up breakfast or whatever, something. I'm going to have my iPad and microphone, just the wireless microphone. So I'm going to do that setup, and we will most likely be sitting here or sitting in Georgia and doing a live from the hotel room to talk about the trip, what we did, talk about each other. Who knows? She kind of says like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But if you go to my personal YouTube channel, we used to do vlogs, or I used to do vlogs for a little while. We did, we drove down the Pacific Coast Highway in California from San Francisco all the way down to San Diego. And I was in a phase where I was trying to like become a vlogger, and we made YouTube videos of our travels. So although she pretends that she's shy or an introvert, when you put a camera recording in front of her with a microphone, she starts to like get wacky and like actually want to talk. Like she was in a phase, and it was cute. It was cool. I mean, she was just excited because we were traveling and we were having fun. We had a Mini Cooper that we drove in, and we just floated down the Pacific Coast Highway in the Mini Cooper, and I recorded some stuff here and there. And, we Solvang, one of the Danish towns that has like windmills and stuff, kind of near, not far from like Big Sur, Central California area. We were walking around just like kind of sightseeing the town because it was interesting with the whole windmills and all that stuff. And she was out of her mind having fun. She would Zillow houses just to see what they cost and if we could afford it. And usually we couldn't, but it was a good time. So if you want, you can go check out my YouTube channel. You can just go to justinyarborough.com. That's my website, and rarely ever updated on my website, but the link is there to my YouTube, and you can watch them if you're really that bored. I did a couple different vlogs, like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge openings, because we went to that was part of that trip. I think it was part of that trip. And we went to, it was like the soft opening for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So I vlogged a little bit of that. And then we also did the soft opening for it in Orlando, and I vlogged that. And I don't know, a couple other things, but it's been years. Oh yeah, I did some vlogs when we were skiing, and like I got a really bad cramp and had to get carted off the mountain while skiing because I'm a bitch. But yeah, I don't know. My vlogging days may be over. Maybe not. Maybe I'll do a vlog someday, but probably not. Got to focus on this podcast and these interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, Justin and Lupe will do coffee talk next week. We got to try and wake up early enough so we can get breakfast and then bring coffees back to the room or something. Maybe find a donut, but I doubt it. So yeah, so hitting the 30-minute mark. And so I'll probably wrap it up here. Hope to see everybody next week. Obviously pay attention to Instagram to see if we will truly commit to doing an episode tomorrow or next Sunday. But I'm going to push hard for it. and say that we need to. So I think because I got like kind of I forget where we're staying. I think we're staying at like an Embassy Suites. So it's got like a sofa and, a place to sit, so we can kind of do it like almost like a podcast interview style. And we can rock this, even though it'll just be on my iPad. So anyways, for everybody checking this out after the fact, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and it'll give you little announcements to say, hey, we're going live, or I'm going live. And, subscribe. It helps out with the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. So every little bit helps, because I'm a retired guy soon in 3 days, and I will be on a fixed income. So, that's just scary, right? So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining, and see you on the next one.
Calling all units, calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.